Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bookeemonsters. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is PK. We're going to be looking at new releases this week, genre by genre. And it is Tuesday, November 21st. In the US here, it is the week of Thanksgiving. I was just online looking at something to send my mom. Let's see what's happening here. Mary says, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Bet you're getting excited for your days off. Well deserved for sure. I am very much looking forward to it. The countdown is on. We have a little drizzle going on right now. Hooray! Not much, but better than nothing. Absolutely. I think it's supposed to do it all day. And it isn't ice, so that's another blessing. Oh, that's going to be so good and so good for either reading or beading or napping or watching a good movie. What a good day. We've got a couple more days of being in the 50s, and then Thursday we are getting winter again. It's going to be in the 30s and possibility of the white stuff kind of stuff. Which for Thanksgiving, you got to expect it. Can't be surprised about it. And I'm very glad that we're not going to be traveling. All righty. Well, I was kind of looking ahead here. The pickings are slim this week, of course, for a holiday week. They're not putting out a whole bunch, but we can look at a couple things here. Let's go to this one. Okay. We'll be reading today for a show, a large one, and the first time I'm attending. Oh my goodness, you're just hitting the show circuit. You go, girl. All right, first up is The Watchmaker's Hand by Jeffrey Deaver, another in his Lincoln Rhyme series. Forensic criminalist Lincoln Rhyme and Detective Amelia Sachs track a criminal with a bizarre and catastrophic MO, toppling the construction cranes in New York City. Oh my. I believe I read the first one when it came out, and I don't think I kept up with it. When a New York City construction crane mysteriously collapses, causing mass destruction and injury, Rhyme and Sachs are on the case. A political group claims responsibility for the sabotage and threatens another attack in 24 hours unless its demands are met. The clock is ticking. Then a clue reveals to Rhyme that his nemesis, known as the Watchmaker, has come to town to fulfill his promise of murdering the criminalist. Now Rhyme and Sachs have to dodge his brilliant scheme to destroy them both while racing against time to stop the construction site terrorists. With New York in a panic, Rhyme and his team must unravel a handful of plots as tightly wound as a timepiece before more cranes fall, raining down death and a destruction from above. Yikes. That is definitely a unique murder weapon. I will be beating today. Okay, we did that one. And Deaver, he is a big name. I should, sometimes I am in the mood for more, not necessarily police procedural, but darker crime solving. I should get back to that. There Should Have Been Eight by Nalini Singh. Now, typically, I think Nalini Singh does fantasy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does more thrillers. A remote estate in New Zealand's Southern Alps hosts a reunion no one will ever forget. 7 friends, one last weekend. A mansion half in ruins. No room for lies. Someone is going to confess because there should have been 8. ... They met when they were teenagers. Now they're adults, and time has been kind to some and unkind to others. None more so than to B, the one they lost 9 years ago. They've gathered to reminisce at B's family estate, a once glorious mansion straight out of a Gothic novel. Best friends, old flames, secret enemies, and new lovers are all under one roof. But when the weather turns, as it does, and they're snowed in at the edge of eternity, there's nowhere left to hide from their shared history. As the walls close in, the pretense of normality gives way to long buried grief, bitterness, and rage. Underneath it all, there's the nagging feeling that B's shocking death wasn't what it was claimed to be, And before the weekend is through, the truth will be revealed, no matter the cost. Gaslight by Beanie Coyote. This is a second solve a missing persons case. I do like missing person cases. And in so doing, uncovers dark secrets the church has worked tirelessly to hide. A shadow has fallen over the megachurch of Ogun State, Nigeria. The beloved Bishop Duwodu has been arrested for the murder of his wife. Sade Duwodu has vanished without a trace, and although no body has been found, the police have acted based on what they claim is damning evidence. Philip Taiwo, hot off the success of solving the Okriki 3 case, is brought on to investigate. He quickly learns that Sade, young, impulsive, and outspoken, is no favorite of the congregants. She has also been known to disappear for long stretches of time. As Taiwo and his trusted associate Chika plunge into the investigation, they unearth secrets that go beyond the missing persons case, ones that, if leaked, threaten to shatter not only the bishop, but the church itself. Taiwo quickly begins to feel like a hired gun, put up to the task with the express purpose to clear the bishop's name rather than find the naked truth, etc. Robert B. Parker's Broken Trust, written by Mike Lupica. It's a Spencer novel written by the estate. Andrew Crane has seen it all. A brilliant scientist and astute businessman, his groundbreaking work with lithium has made him one of the world's richest men. He is universally adored and admired. That is, until Crane's beautiful wife Laura comes to Spencer hoping that he can find out what skeletons lurk in her husband's closet. Though Crane is a generous philanthropist and loving family man, she is concerned. He has recently become secretive, bordering on paranoid, prone to violent outbursts. This is the opposite of the man she knew, and not only does his behavior put their marriage at risk, but also a lucrative company merger that would be life-changing for the Cranes, their business partner, and everyone associated. Laura wants Spencer to find out what has gotten into her husband before it's too late. As Spencer digs into the billionaire's past, he realizes that the man may have done terrible things on his rise to the top, but he also may have had good reason to. There are no clear answers here, and quickly enough, what Spencer discovers will cause him to question his own views on morality and place him in grave danger. I don't believe I ever read any of the Spencer. Maybe I've read one. Spencer books. Have watched some of the TV show with Robert Urich. He was a hottie. Murder Wears a Hidden Face by Rosemary Simpson. A diplomat's murder draws heiress-turned-lawyer Prudence Mackenzie and former Pinkerton Jeffrey Hunter away from the opulent mansions of Gilded Age New York's high society and into the dark heart of Chinatown. February 1891, New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art is hosting an exhibition of Chinese art objects, timed to coincide with the arrival of a new Chinese cultural attaché, Lord Peng. Prudence and Geoffrey are invited to attend the opening ceremonies, but among the throng of dignitaries making their way through the galleries is one decidedly unwelcome and unexpected visitor, an assassin who stabs the attaché to death, then flees through Central Park. As witnesses, Prudence and Geoffrey quickly become immersed in the case and join former New York detective Warren Lowry in investigating the murder, but there are complications. The Peng family will no longer enjoy diplomatic standing and is threatened by deportation and possible disgrace or execution in their homeland. Desperate to remain in the West, they flee into the labyrinth of Chinatown, enlisting the protection of a long-lost uncle, now the leader of one of the city's most feared tongs. But that alliance comes with a price. Peng's son must become his uncle's apprentice in crime, while his eldest daughter will be forced to marry a Tong leader she has never met. With a killer still at large, bent on revenge for a long-ago injustice and determined to eliminate every member of the Peng family, Prudence and Geoffrey are plunged into the heart of a culture about which they know very little. Each foray into the narrow streets and alleyways of Chinatown could be their last. Sounds intriguing, with story elements you don't necessarily see all the time, which is kind of refreshing. Yeah, it is a nice cover. I don't know how many books are in that series. I'm not one who necessarily reads historical mysteries set in the US. I prefer a UK setting, and this one actually comes out on the 28th. But there are 8 in the series. And the first few are on Kindle Unlimited. I don't really like that cover so much. Okay, interesting. Coaching Fire by Victoria Laurie. Everything's bigger in Texas when Hampton's life coach, Kat Cooper, and her saucy bestie, Jilly, show up for the Texas Rose Festival with their customary pizzazz in the latest life coach mystery. Jilly's whirlwind romance with creative director Stuart Jacobs began in Paris, where Stuart was sourcing fabric for the world renowned Texas Rose Festival, which he is heading up for the first time. The festival is nothing short of spectacular, bringing in 500,000 people and their wallets to see the artistic displays and exquisite gowns and jewels worn by the Rose Queen and her court. Stuart and his crew seem to have it all under control. But the night Cat arrives in Texas, someone is shot in cold blood. How would they know it was cold? And a member of Stewart's staff is named the prime suspect. The Rose Festival is too important to the city's economy to cancel, so while Stewart scrambles to prevent the festival from derailing, Kat and Jilly launch their own investigation into the murder. With a parade of potential suspects to parse and an even longer list of motives, they bring in East Hampton police detective Steve Shepard to help. As rumors of arson, burglary, and professional sabotage swirl around the already fraught festival planning, Kat and her team immerse themselves in the cutthroat pageantry to identify the killer who has already picked their next victim. Dot, 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 dot. I think this site is combining this week and next week as well, um, as another site I've seen because of the holiday week this week. Tom Clancy, Command and Control by Mark Cameron, a Jack Ryan novel. Again, the uh, the estate of Clancy continues. A Russian plot to seize the Panama Canal plunges President Jack Ryan into a desperate fight for his life in the latest entry. For a century, the Panama Canal has served as a path between the seas. Control of this vital waterway is the difference between free trade and chaos in world markets. So when Panamanian President Rafael Botero asks for a show of support against the socialist opposition, his old friend President Jack Ryan can't turn down an invitation to visit the country. But what seems like an ordinary opportunity to preach the values of democracy quickly turns into a nightmare when a full-blown coup d'etat erupts. President Ryan and his Secret Service team are cut off and out of communication. In Washington, the vice president is coordinating a military response, but there's still one more obstacle. One of the main forces behind the coup is the ruthless criminal organization known as the Camarilla. They've had their tentacles deep inside the plot to overthrow the government. All of their hard work has just presented them with an unexpected opportunity they can't resist, the chance to kill President Jack Ryan. Um, I like many people, read the original Tom Clancy books, really loved them. Hi, Annalise. How you doing? How is your day going? It was good to see you on sprints last night. Not my sprints, Mary. It was somebody else's sprints. I do have sprints tonight, though. And I really loved what John Krasinski, I think it might be adding or eliminating an R there somewhere, of Jack Ryan. He did a really good job. All right, that's all they're saying for probably this week and next week in mysteries. Let's go over here. I'm going to close some tabs while we're here too. There we go. Hi, Annalise. Happy Tuesday right back. There's an echo in here. Good, good, good. All right. This is a website called Fresh Fiction, and they throw everything in here. Now, this one I had looked at under regular fiction. Um, we're going to dabble here and there for the rest of this show. I'm not doing a morning show on Thursday or Friday this week because of the holiday. Uh, I am doing sprints tonight at regular time, 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. And then I'm doing extra long sprints on Thursday, starting about 2:30ish my time, 4:30ish Eastern time, um, and then our regular ones on Saturday. But we have shorter time to look at the new releases, but there's also not a whole lot out there. This caught my eye. A true account, Hannah Masery's Sojourn Among the Pirates, written by herself, by Catherine Howe. Um, I would call this a historical novel. Uh, in Boston, as the golden age of piracy comes to a bloody close, Hannah Masery, bound out of service at a waterfront inn since childhood, is ready to take her life into her own hands. When a man is hanged for piracy in the town square and whispers of a treasure in the Caribbean spread, Hannah is forced to flee for her life, disguising herself as a cabin boy in the pitiless crew of the notorious pirate Edward Ned Lowe. To earn the freedom to choose a path for herself, Hannah must hunt down the treasure and change the tides. Meanwhile, Professor Marion Beresford pieces Hannah's story together in 1930, seeing her own lack of freedom reflected back at her as she watches Hannah's transformation. At the center of Hannah Masery's account, however, lies a centuries-old mystery that Marion is determined to solve, just as Hannah may have been determined to take it to her grave. I believe this is set in 17. The one in Boston is set in the 1700s. I kind of flagged that one. Let's see. We won't look at romance because we've got romance tomorrow. We did that one. The newer Nora Roberts we'll look at tomorrow. That one should be on my Kindle right now. Romance, thriller. That looks like a horror one. Monkshood Tea. Whoops. Let's look at the Kindle version of it. Monkshood Tea and Murder by Joni Folger, first in the Enchanted Affairs mystery. That is a gorgeous cover. Fellow witches Lydie Charles and Vanessa Dearborn strive to bring joy to their community with events they plan and cater. The Seal Cove Garden Society's annual garden party is next up on the agenda. But Liddy has been having some disturbing visions with the society playing a starring role. Something dark is afoot, and the women know it's going to take more than a simple spell to head off what's coming when society members start dropping like rose petals. Detective Nick Sutton is baffled by his cousin Vanessa and her business partner Lydie with their magic and potions, and he doesn't take kindly to them poking around in his investigations. But when Lydie's strange visions turn out to be prophetic, he's going to need an extra helping of magic to keep women safe and solve the case before someone else dies. Like I say, that is a gorgeous cover. Oh, indeed. Fantasy, romance, science fiction. We're not going to be able to look at science fiction this week. Romance, Taming the Wolf, romance western. Danielle Still has a new one. Historical fantasy. The other half. Double check the release date here, November 21st. I don't think we looked at this one. By Charlotte Vassell, first of the D.I. Caius Beecham series. Stunning debut. Who killed Clemmy? Was it the blithe sociopathic boyfriend, his impossibly wealthy godmother, the gallery owner with whom Clemmy was having an affair, or was it the result of something else entirely? All the partygoers have alibis, naturally. This investigation is going to be about aristocrats and classics degrees, Instagram influencers, and whose father knows who. Or is it whom? Detective Caius Beecham isn't sure. He's sharply dressed, smart, and thoroughly modern. He discovers Clemmy's body on his early morning jog. As he searches for the dark truth behind the luxurious life of these London socialites, a wall of staggering wealth and privilege threatens to shut down his investigation before it's even begun. Can Caius peer through the tangled mess of connections in which the other half live and die before the case is wrenched from his hands? Bitingly funny, full of shocking twists, and all too familiar, The Other Half is truly stunning debut. Well, that's a good one to end on. All righty. Well, that's it for this Tuesday, looking at mysteries and others. I thank you guys for being here so much. If you're tuning in now, if you're tuning in later, thank you for tuning in later. I hope your Tuesday is good. Let's see, what am I currently reading? I'm reading Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. It is a time slip movie. She sees a movie book. She sees her son commit a murder, and then each day she wakes up a previous day earlier, and she doesn't know why, other than to maybe stop from happening. So I have been enjoying that. It's been in coffee. Somebody just stirred that hard. Tonight, again, we do have sprints at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. Boy, this sure went fast today. Thanks so much. Hope to see you all later on Thunder Horse Descendant. Stay warm and have a great day. Don't forget to, if you ordered anything from Thunder Horse Descendant, to get that taken care of before the weekend. Still reading The Power. Not sure about it as yet. Still early days. Giving it a healthy try. That's good. Otherwise, have a very good Tuesday. Mary, enjoy your drizzly day. Annalise, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And anybody else who is tuning in and lurking, thank you so much. As the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Thank you. Have a good day. God bless.